Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask, Heidi. It is Friday, the 23rd day of February. It's Curling is Cool Day. So, for those of you who curl, you're cool. Diesel Engine Day, National Banana Bread Day, National Chili Day. I'm a fan of chili. I wonder why today is Chili Day.
I don't know. I do like chili as well.
Seems like a weird
I
day.
didn't used to when I was a kid, but
National
I like it now.
Dog Biscuit Day. Oh, you make some really good chicken chili, by the way.
Thank you.
So that's really good. So if you've never tried that, maybe today's the day to try that. National Dog Biscuit Day. I don't think that belongs in chili, so just keep that away. National Hospital Workers Appreciation Day. That should be every day. National Toast Day, Pinocchio Day, Play Tennis Day, Tootsie Roll Day, all of that and much, much more. And I've got a guest joining me. We've seen him on TV, Heidi.
Okay.
He's been on several programs, but one that we watch is Forensic Files.
Okay.
McCrackin Poston. He's got a book out called Zenith Man. He is an attorney who defended a man who was accused of murdering his wife because she had passed away, and he never reported that she passed away. He just kept on living. And then it was years later, they find out, wait a minute, she's dead? He's like, she's been dead for years. So they thought he murdered her, and this guy was the attorney. He's got this new book out, Zenith Man, because the guy was a Zenith television repairman. Anyway, fascinating story. I'm excited to chat with him coming up in a bit.
Give yourself a little credit.
I've been telling you about BetterCreditCards.com for a few years now. I'd love for you to take a few minutes today to check out the website. Who knows? You might find a better credit card, one that offers a better rate, or a credit card that offers cash back, airline miles, or other points and perks that can help you. Check it out now.
Give yourself a little credit. Go ahead and switch to BetterCreditCards.com.
Now, surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. According to a new survey, the average person does not start seriously monitoring their health until this age. What age, Heidi?
I don't know.
How old?
50.
No, 38. 38. We are behind is what you're saying. And not until...
Well, I'm not 50 yet, so I'm assuming it was coming this year.
and not until they have some sort of health scare. We've both had health scares. We're like, oh, man, I thought I was sick. Yeah, I guess I'm good. And I go back to eating my chili dog now. The poll of 2,000 adults in the UK. Oh, it's in the UK. So that's probably
the
why.
difference.
If you do the translation on this, it's probably in the 50s. Study found that 11% of adults admit they still don't take their health very serious, even after they have a health issue that they think they have. Celebrities also play a part in making people take notice to their health. After it was announced that King Charles was undergoing treatment for an enlarged prostate, it sounds like UK Health Services said that they had 11 times more visits that day, people checking into that, than they did the day before that.
Okay.
So that's kind of cool. There you go. Surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com.
Insurance. It's important to have insurance, but it's more important to have the right insurance. After all, if you're not covered, it's like not even having insurance. Make sure you're covered for whatever claim might come your way with InsuranceChicken.com, helping you peck out great insurance deals in your area. You need insurance on your car anyway. Why not get great rates for great insurance from InsuranceChicken.com? That's InsuranceChicken.com.
Did you know? Brought to you by GenesisGoldIRA.com. Heidi, did you know a new tree-shaking study? Wait a minute, a what? A tree-shaking?
A tree-shaking
I've heard of like an
study.
earth-shaking,
Okay.
but a tree-shaking new study found that eating nuts does not lead to weight gain as previously thought. That's good news. I'm a big fan.
I like to...
A team from Vanderbilt University Medical Center found that more than half of Americans fall short of the recommended daily intake of nuts and seeds. In their experiment, nut-consuming people saw significant health benefits. Women experienced a 67% reduction in metabolic syndrome, while men saw a 42% decrease. Now, both males and females maintained their body weight, and women showed reduced waist circumference. Men exhibited lower blood insulin levels. This is just from eating nuts and seeds. They also found that your body might absorb 5% fewer calories from nuts than we thought of before. So,
I eat some of both every single day.
I know.
Nuts and seeds.
I do. There you go. And I should probably have more. All right. We don't know everything, but now we know this.
John and Heidi.
Now, Big Screen, Little Screen, brought to you by InsuranceChicken.com. House of the Dragon Season 2 is on the way, and star Matt Smith may have narrowed down the release date. In a podcast appearance recently, he said he heard the new season will be out in August. They still haven't announced when. So,
Okay.
But then HBO was saying it might be out sooner than that, maybe early summer. So we don't know when it is. Katy Perry is saying goodbye to American Idol after 7 seasons. She announced her exit recently. She was a judge on there for 7 seasons. It seems like she was the new one too, wasn't she? I don't know.
I have not seen that show. I just don't watch TV hardly ever anymore.
Every once in a while, we'll watch something on TV, and then we're like, remember when we used to do this?
Yeah.
And then the commercials come on. We're like,
You're like,
remember?
this is why we don't do this.
We're watching TV like a bunch of peasants. I can't fast forward through these or nothing. All right. So, Big Screen, Little Screen report brought to you by InsuranceChicken.com.
What could you do with an extra $129 a month? In this economy, every penny counts. So an extra $129 each month would absolutely help. Well, 97% of us have a cell phone, and the average person pays $144 a month. Mint Mobile can help you save a mint. At just $15 a month, that's an average savings of $129 each month. It's time for a Mintervention. Switch and save today. Get this special offer at Mintervention.com. That's Mintervention.com.
Now, your scoop of the day comes your way, courtesy of BetterCreditCards.com. You're dancing over there. What are you dancing for? It's like, you happy? Is that a happy dance? She's like swaying back and forth. She's got like something going on in her head that we're not even hearing. If your phone gets wet, put it in rice, they say.
I have heard
It's one
that.
of those truisms that, up until now, nobody has dared to doubt.
Okay.
But believe it or not, Apple is warning users not to bury their iPhones in rice
Really?
if they get wet.
What
They
are you
say
supposed to do?
Well, you want me to read the story or not?
Sure.
Because they say it could do your device more harm than good. If your phone does get wet, it may display an alert telling you that it has detected liquid in the Lightning or the USB-C connector or on the cable accessory itself. To protect it, you won't be able to use the accessory or charge the phone until everything is dry. On the website, Apple warns, if you charge your iPhone while the Lightning or USB-C connector is wet, the pins on the connector or cable can corrode and cause permanent damage or stop functioning. So what should you do?
Yeah, there you go. That's
Is
what
that
I
what
was
you were going to ask,
asking.
Heidi?
Yes, it is.
You asked me 25 seconds ago. Apple's website says, don't put your phone in a bag of rice. Doing so could allow a small particle of rice to damage the phone. They say instead, they tell you to tap your phone gently against your hand. So we'll do this here with the connector facing down like that.
Okay.
This does not translate to the radio well, does it?
No.
So you just tap it on the palm of your hand with the part that's wet facing down. And they say next, leave your phone in a dry area with some airflow for like 30 minutes. Okay. Then try to use the charger or accessory again. If you still see the warning, rinse and repeat. No, don't really rinse, but start over by tapping it some more and drying it. And when they're talking about something with airflow, something like, keep in mind, something like a fan blowing on it.
Okay.
Or you can do what I do. Just use a leaf blower. You can use that sucker in 10 seconds in. All right. Fan is probably a better idea. Scoop of the day comes your way, courtesy of BetterCreditCards.com.
Do you owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes? Are you being audited or investigated? Has the IRS sent you a letter demanding payment? You may not owe what they claim. Make this free call to the tax doctor now. Let them negotiate with the IRS on your behalf.
800-310-5831. 800-310-5831. That's 800-310-5831.
Thanks for listening to the John Ed Heidi Show. Excited to visit with our guest today, McCrackin Poston. He is an attorney, but he's also an author. He's got a new book out called Zenith Man. McCrackin, we've actually seen you on TV on Forensic Files.
This is the hermetic television repairman in Ringgold, Georgia, whose wife had not been seen in 3 decades and then suddenly turns up dead. And there was a rush to judgment. And Alvin didn't help himself by the way he reacted and responded to it. He had already dug himself a hole by being the most litigious malcontent in the community. He sued everybody. He had these outlandish claims of causation of what was causing all of his ills. really, as a TV repairman, it was solid state circuitry that did him in, because no longer did anybody need somebody who could fix a picture tube. And so Alvin was so difficult. My father encouraged me to help him. They were friends and traded with each other. But he was so difficult. What really inspired me to keep with him was when my former opponent, who defeated me in a race for Congress, called and ordered me to keep Alvin Ridley away from his congressional office. That inspired me.
So I see that this actually happened in 1997. It's kind of when this started, but then there were trials. There were all kinds of different things. When did it all finally settle down, and when did you start on this book?
Well, the trial ended 25 years ago last month. But we managed to get through it. Alvin, actually, Jesus told him to testify against my advice. And turns out Jesus is a pretty good legal advisor, because Alvin actually did very well on the stand. I thought the jurors would be very concerned when all he wanted to talk about was the county taking his van, which ultimately is what he always circled around to. What I forgot was how literal Alvin is. And I would get ahead of myself thinking, man, he's doing great. Alvin, tell the jury what you lost here. And I was wanting him to say, the love of my life, my best friend. And he said, I guess the funeral bill, which obviously the DA ran with. Yeah. Well, I only learned 3 years ago that Alvin Ridley is very much on the autism spectrum. Only knowing that 3 years ago makes me feel so guilty that, I obviously was putting him through hell equally. The demands I was making on him, and he was, in my opinion, he was kneecapping our defense. But we found a way to work together. We found a way to get to the end zone. But there were a lot of interesting twists and turns that are absolutely true. The trial testimony is directly from the transcript.
Nice.
And so it's when you read something that he said or somebody said in trial, please know that really happened. That's from the transcript.
I remember watching this on Forensic Files, and I remember just thinking that this seemed like it wouldn't be a true story. Like, it seemed almost like a movie, or like in your case here, a book. A lot of the reason is he did things that most people wouldn't do, but like you mentioned, he wasn't like most people. In the book, Zenith Man, Death, Love, and Redemption in a Georgia Courtroom, he got that redemption in the Georgia courtroom because of you. And I think if he didn't have you on his team, he might be in a completely different place right now.
Well, and I was just hell-bent on not losing again. I had lost so much just in the last few years, and I just really wanted to win for the sake of winning. But that inspiration by my former opponent trying to order my client around, that was inspiring.
And I see you're launching the book at a presidential library. That's cool.
And Alvin is going to be there. I've just bought him a $400 suit.
Nice.
And it's going to be really looking fine. Alvin will turn 82 soon.
That is awesome.
My secretary and I look after him. We make sure he gets to the VA. I just took him on as like a brother.
I love it. A quick Alvin question: did he ever get his van back?
He got his van back in 3 weeks, but he refuses to touch it because in his mind that triggers some type of statute of limitations theory that he has. So this van is slowly returning to the earth. It has trees now boxing it in, and he still hasn't touched it since 1984.
Well, thank you so much for your time today, and thank you for putting out the book, Zenith Man.
Thank you so much.
Again, our guest today has been McCrackin Poston Jr. His book is called Zenith Man, Death, Love, and Redemption in a Georgia Courtroom. It's available now. I've got a link to it in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
Give yourself a little credit.
I've been telling you about BetterCreditCards.com for a few years now. I'd love for you to take a few minutes today to check out the website. Who knows? You might find a better credit card, one that offers a better rate, or a credit card that offers cash back, airline miles, or other points and perks that can help you. Check it out now.
Give yourself a little credit. Go ahead and switch to BetterCreditCards.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Sloths can hold their breath longer than dolphins can. How crazy is that?
Oh, that's interesting.
Never would have thought of a sloth as a breath-holding animal, but apparently they
either.
can. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Zoologists say tiger scent markings smell like buttered popcorn. So when a tiger urinates to like mark their scent, it smells like buttered popcorn, which that's kind of weird to know. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The average person spends 2 weeks of his or her life kissing. We need to up that a bit.
I think we definitely need to up that a little.
It's been a while. We've been married now 24 years. It's like from across the room, it's just blow her a kiss. There you go. You just see it. Whatever. You get it. You know what I mean. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Flamingos bend their knees at the ankle, not the knee. So then they don't bend their knees at all. They
Who
bend their
doesn't love
ankles.
flamingos?
Yeah. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Lobsters taste with their feet. How crazy is that?
So do flies.
Yeah, and our final fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Amazon's largest warehouse is the size of 17 football fields. Wow. Several fun facts. Now you know. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Insurance. It's important to have insurance, but it's more important to have the right insurance. After all, if you're not covered, it's like not even having insurance. Make sure you're covered for whatever claim might come your way with InsuranceChicken.com, helping you peck out great insurance deals in your area. You need insurance on your car anyway. Why not get great rates for great insurance from InsuranceChicken.com? That's InsuranceChicken.com.
Time now for the Mint Mobile question of the day. It comes your way, courtesy of Mintervention.com. Question for you, Heidi. 21% of us have no idea how to do this with our car. What is it? I
Change
do.
a tire.
No. Operate cruise control.
Oh.
21%?
What? Seriously?
Yeah. If you're driving mainly in a city and you're just going from place to place in a city, you don't use cruise control. But if you're out on the wide open spaces,
That seems like a crazy big number to
we
me.
like to go cruising out in the wide open spaces of the world, and yeah, you use cruise control then. If you don't know how to do it, by the way, I'm sure you could find it in your, what's that little book that's in the glove
User's
department?
manual.
Yeah, I've never read it. Heidi likes to read those. She knows how to use all the gadgets in our car. I'm like, what does that do? Wow. Mint Mobile question of the day comes your way, courtesy of Mintervention.com.
What could you do with an extra $129 a month? In this economy, every penny counts. So an extra $129 each month would absolutely help. Well, 97% of us have a cell phone, and the average person pays $144 a month. Mint Mobile can help you save a mint. At just $15 a month, that's an average savings of $129 each month. It's time for a Mintervention. Switch and save today. Get this special offer at Mintervention.com. That's Mintervention.com.
Now, some weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. A ramen bar in Houston is struggling to stay afloat, so the owner decided to start an OnlyFans account to help with finances.
Oh my gosh.
An Instagram post, Christopher Hong, I think is how you'd say it, wrote that he only started the OnlyFans account for Ninja Ramen and invited customers to send me pictures of you eating our hot noodles. Eating our hot nudes. I see. Noodles. If
That's
it says,
cute.
and I'll post them with your consent, of course. Yes, the account is real. Yes, he is serious, but OnlyFans is just part of a larger plan. He wants to do even more events and collaborations, cool and weird things aimed at saving his business. As he put it, I don't know how to ask for help in an elegant manner. So he's got a ramen noodle place, and he's struggling to stay in business. I don't know if you know this. You can get like a whole pack of ramen noodles for like 10 cents. Just eat them at home. So I've not tried his noodle. Maybe his noodles are amazing, but he's posting nude photos.
Yeah, that's adorable.
Noodles.
That's a
is what
great
it is.
idea.
Noodles. Nood. Nudes. That's weird news. Brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
John and Heidi.
Time now for the list, brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. If you're looking for your perfect match in a dog, you might want to turn to a new AI program. Yeah, CBARQ, CBARQ. They're saying with up to 99% accuracy, the groundbreaking technology will help you match with personality traits of different dogs and find the right one. So here are the 5 dog personality types: excitable or hyperactive, anxious or fearful, aloof or predatory, reactive or assertive, and calm and agreeable. I think our dog is all of those at different times. We have what kind of dog is our dog?
She's a Pomeranian Maltese.
Whatever she is, she's the perfect fit for us.
She's adorable.
She's a tiny dog. I'm not a big dog person. I don't dislike big dogs, but I've never, since like my entire adult life, I've not owned big dogs. We've always had little dogs. And from time to time, we've had dogs that feel more like a cat. And there are times our dog that we have now is more like a cat. She doesn't like to sit and like hang out with us.
No, she thinks she's a big dog.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, she does. But she also thinks she's a cat. Like she'll just kind of hang out somewhere. I'm like, what are you doing back there? That's like a cat thing to do. So I don't know. Our dog's a bit weird. The list brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com.
Do you owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes? Are you being audited or investigated? Has the IRS sent you a letter demanding payment? You may not owe what they claim. Make this free call to the tax doctor now. Let them negotiate with the IRS on your behalf.
800-310-5831. 800-310-5831. That's 800-310-5831.
Time now for the quote of the day. It comes your way, courtesy of InsuranceChicken.com. Our quote today is from Addison H. Halleck, who says, before borrowing money from a friend, decide which you need most, the money or the friend. You know, I can certainly relate to that. And it's been a long time, but yeah, I can relate to that, where it's like, so I haven't seen him in a while. I'm like, oh, that's right. He also borrowed some money from me.
He owes me money
3 years ago. So, quote of the day comes your way, courtesy of InsuranceChicken.com.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news comes your way, courtesy of GenesisGoldIRA.com. Here's a headline, Heidi. 6-year-old saves a mother's life during a medical emergency. How great is that?
Oh, that's pretty cool.
From Conover, North Carolina, a heartwarming tale of courage and quick thinking. A 6-year-old, Quinn Hill, became an unexpected hero when she took decisive action, there's no division on this, decisive action during a medical emergency that saved her mama's life. Jennifer Hill is 39. She's the mother of 3. She was home preparing dinner for Quinn and her younger brother when she suddenly began to seize. The last thing she remembered was sitting in a chair looking up at the ceiling and experiencing abnormal breathing.
Yikes.
Quinn, realizing the severity of the situation, sprang into action. Recalling the incident, she told Good Morning America, Quinn told me that I actually sat down in the chair that I'm sitting in right now, and I looked up at the ceiling, and I started breathing weird. She said that I fell out of the chair onto my left side, and my fists were clenched, and my body was convulsing. My eyes were open, and she kept saying, Mommy, 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 and I wouldn't respond. So Quinn made a spontaneous decision to take her 3-year-old brother and seek help from neighbors. She said, this is the first time they've ever left our home without us. So this little girl, 3 years old, decides, okay, we're going to go find help. And she wandered around until finally got somebody who called 911. And because of this, the mother was saved. The little girl got a City of Conover resolution certifying the recognition of Quinn Hill. So look at that fancy document right there.
So cute.
Stamped and signed by the mayor. And this little girl is a hero. And Mama says, she's my angel. She's my hero for what she did. And I've got a link to this story if you'd like to read it. And there's a video and there's images and all of that. It's in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show.